Hi, this is Pastor Ken Lang of Calvary Chapel of Syracuse. We've been looking at the book, The Spiritual Disciplines for the Christian Life, by Donald Whitney. Paul the Apostle said, "Discipline yourself for the purpose of godliness." Our purpose in practicing the spiritual disciplines is to become more like Christ, to know Christ, and to make Him known. We're entering the gym of godliness, and we'll participate in different exercises to strengthen our spiritual bodies and to become more spiritually healthy. We've looked at the exercises of Bible intake and prayer. In Bible intake, we looked at Bible reading and studying. We also examined memorization and meditation and biblical application. In prayer, we said, simply put, God talks to us in the Bible, and we talk to Him through prayer. Today we'll be looking at the discipline of worship, acknowledging the greatness of God and declaring His goodness. Jesus emphasized and obeyed the Old Testament command to worship the Lord. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and of all your strength. If we want to learn to be like Jesus, we must learn the discipline of worship. To do this, I want to look at three aspects of this vital spiritual exercise. First, worship is focusing on God and responding to Him. In John 20, when Thomas encountered Jesus, he fell before Him and said, "My Lord and my God." The four living creatures in Revelation chapter 4, verse 8 say, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and who is to come." Some might say, why does God command us to do that? Is He that insecure that He needs me to tell Him how wonderful He is? Actually, worship is not for Him so much as it is for us. God is complete in and of Himself. He doesn't need us to do that, but we need to do it. It's good for us. C.S. Lewis, in his little book, Reflection on the Psalms, put it this way: we are compelled to declare the excellence of something when we experience it. This cake is delicious, we might say, or you look great, or I heard a great song today. He said, I think we delight to praise what we enjoy because the praise not only expresses it, but it completes the enjoyment. It completes the joy of experiencing God. Second, worship is done in spirit and in truth. Some focused on the emotional experience of worship, the soul. Christ does move us emotionally. We are called to love God and to rejoice in God. Others want to focus on the rational element of worship, the mind. We must worship in truth. According to the Bible, experiencing God or Christ is more than the Bible, but it's not less. Worship in the Spirit and in truth involves both the heart and the head. Finally, worship is expected both publicly and privately. The Bible expects us to gather publicly for worship. The writer of Hebrews said, not neglecting to meet together as the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching, in Hebrews 10:25. Jesus went to the synagogue to gather with God's people. And as was His custom, He went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and He stood up to read. Luke chapter 4, verse 16. We are called to be part of a body, to participate as a family, the family of God. The Bible also expects us to worship privately. Jesus told us to pray in secret, to give in secret rather than to draw attention to ourselves. Matthew Henry, the great commentator, said, public worship will not excuse us from secret worship. How can I do that, this private worship? Well, I would encourage you to set time aside each day. Focus on God by focusing on creation. The heavens declare the glory of God, Psalm 19:1. Animals, whales, penguins, etc. Birds, hummingbirds. To focus on the Bible, Psalm 119. And to focus on Christ. I like to spend time listening to Christian music and focusing on Christ. You could use YouTube or Pandora or your iPod. I put on my headphones and sing along with the songs, blocking out the world and focusing on Christ in an attitude of gratitude. Well, that's it for our time today. I want to encourage you to, since worship is expected, will you worship? Will you worship in spirit and truth, engaging your head and your heart? And will you worship by focusing on God? Our next time together, we will look at the discipline of evangelism, how we can develop a deeper relationship with God by sharing His truth with people we encounter. Till then, may the Lord richly bless you and keep you.